Hello there, David Thompson here with episode 1 of Distro-Dash. So if we begin, Distro-Dash is a new series I'm going to be running, and each week or every 2 weeks I'm going to be taking a look at some of the Linux distributions out there. As there is so many, there's so many distributions of Linux. I think we should go through some of them and see which ones are better than others. So this is Linux Mint 11. As Linux Mint 12 is just round the corner, I thought we should take a look at Linux Mint 11. So you can get Linux Mint 11 for free, as all Linux distributions, as far as I'm aware, are free. And you can get Linux Mint from linuxmint.com for free. You can download it and put it on an ISO disk, put it onto your disk, install it, or install it in a virtual machine. You can also request a free disk. You can request a disk from them for free, or you can even purchase a disk if you're thinking it's worthy of that. So if we just begin with the actual operating system, first of all, you will be greeted. It's not like Ubuntu, it's very similar to Windows. You've got a bar across the bottom, date, time, etc., your dashboard, whatever you want to call it there. Windows are minimized and maximized from the bar here, and you've got like one of them desktop buttons as such. So it's very standard. It comes with most operating systems. You've got computer and David home, etc. We'll be showing some of the application management very shortly. So if we take a look at the menu here, it's very similar to the start menu. You go down to the left, there's a menu, so it's very good if you want to switch over to a Linux distro and you've used Windows for a long time. Here we are greeted with System, Places and Applications. I've noticed when I've been testing this operating system all the way through that it's categorized so well and it's so simple. I would say it's very child friendly, so for a child to use it, very basic, nothing too special. So under System, you've got quit, log out, all the basic stuff, Control Center, probably very similar to the control panel. Places, you've got Home folder, Computer, Network, Desktop, and Rubbish Bin. Applications, I'm not going to read them out, but they're all nicely categorized. And the software you do get with it is pretty good. So in Office, you get a whole entire Office suite, including it is the LibreOffice. And the LibreOffice suite is pretty good. I've used it previously. It comes with a lot of Linux distributions out there. And it's really good for education purposes, and as I say, it's great for a child as you don't have to spend lots of money on them expensive Office application suites. Under sound and video, there's just some basic video playing, sound playing tools, and under administration is where you'll find all the settings and admin things where you can manage your computer. Preferences is all stuff like about me, appearance, very basic layout, super easy to use. As I said, graphics, it comes with GIMP image editor, GIMP image editor, one of the best free image editors out there. And you've just got a big list of applications. So it's very like Windows, just fancied up a bit with the start menu maybe, in a different format. You will notice first of all it's very green, and you can't actually change that. I've tried changing that in the changing the desktop background and the appearance, and it just likes to be green. So I know it's Linux Mint, but it doesn't have to be that green. So if we move on to file management, you're going to computer here, and we're just based with a window, and of course on the left you have your navigation to go to different places around your computer, and on the right you will have the folders show up. So it's very basic, nothing special at all, no fancy graphics, very easy on the eyes to see with this grey background, and the way they display your files, you can just navigate through them. Along the top here, it is a bit confusing the way it's routed up here, but I quite like it. It's very easy to use, ultimately easy to use. I honestly think this operating system has been aimed at children or the very basic user. So file management is just basic, it's good, nothing special, what you'd expect in an operating system. So applications. On Linux distros, I always have problems installing applications, always. It's quite hard. I know in Ubuntu it's become quite easy, but in other distros I find it quite hard. To install applications in this operating system, you go to Menu and Software Manager. And this is where, when it eventually decides to open up, here we go. Quite a cheesy opening up, and it does take some time. Overall, the operating system is pretty snappy. It is very snappy indeed, and I'm not experiencing any lag, but this isn't a virtual machine. It will run on your older computers, maybe Windows XP era, but nothing older than that, and it does require a pretty stable machine, otherwise it would be a waste of time with this operating system. So it's not really for them old computers, it's more for the newer ones, etc. Not really aimed at laptops or netbooks either, not great to run it on them. So here's the rather cheesy looking software management. Very cheesy indeed. Here we've got features, all packages, and it's nicely categorized as everything else is in this operating system. And we can go down quite a cheesy list of different software here, where there's reviews, stars. It's very easy for a child to look at this and they'll see, oh, 5 stars, that's good, I will download that. It's very basic, or a novice user who just wants basic ways of doing things. It's got it there, it displays it in an appropriate way, nothing complicated, real basic, and it explains what each piece of software does. And you can quite easily install and uninstall from this software application manager. So it serves its purpose, and once again, very basic, like everything else in this operating system. So overall, would this operating system really be worth downloading and installing if you want to use it full time for applications? I would not say so. If there's a novice user who isn't very good at all at computers, pretty terrible, I couldn't recommend this operating system much more. It's very good for basic use, internet browsing. It comes with Firefox web browser, and when it comes to internet browsing, it's pretty good, fast, just basic Firefox, nothing special, very basic. And as I say, applications, you can do very basic things on here. You can do Office applications and internet. So Office and internet is what I would recommend this for. Basic web and Office use, nothing more than that, as I've just said. And it very much reminds me of Ubuntu in its very early stages, if you haven't seen it. So it's very similar to older operating systems with Windows have made, and possibly some very early versions of Ubuntu. So would I recommend this to the average user? I really wouldn't. Stay away from it. If you're a Windows user and you want to swap over to Linux, I highly recommend Linux Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the best way to go to get into the Linux world before things start getting a bit complicated, as it's the most supported, I would say. It's the easiest to use, and it's the closest you're going to get in the Linux world to a full operating system. So this has been an overview of Linux Mint, and this is this week an episode of Distro-Dash. I will see you in the next episode of Distro-Dash. Bye for now.